Yeah, we got Viggo Mortensen. Aragorn himself was questioned about the Rings of Power. Now, I know what you're thinking out there. Yeah, he's going to be super excited. Let's see what he had to say. When first asked about the show and if he planned on watching it, Mortensen replied, "What is that? The TV thing? Is it with Apple or something?" You can't make this up.
And we living it up.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy Beta J, back like I left something, and I'm glad you're here. Yes, I'm glad you're here. And today we're going to be talking about Viggo Mortensen and his thoughts on Rings of Power. And I'm going to tell you his thoughts wasn't really thoughts because he hasn't been checking on it. And this goes to show you that the failure is going to increase. The backlash is going to increase. Even the main stars out there from the original Peter Jackson movies is not checking for this movie, man. It's not on a grand scale. But before we get into that, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification bell. Because when you hit that notification bell, it's like Shakespearean poetry. I mean Shakespearean. It makes me feel oh so good and oh so swell. Yeah, y'all know how it goes. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for sending super chats, super thanks. Appreciate that. Make sure next to the dislike and the like button, hit that super thanks. Just $2 alone. Support this show greatly. Also, join that memberships, Beta J memberships, and join that Patreon. Thank you to my members and my Patreons. Now let's get into the video right now and speak about what's going on. So yeah, so Viggo Mortensen, he's getting ready for his upcoming movie, and people was asking him, you know how the interviewers do, they go outside of the movie that they're promoting, and they asked Viggo about the Rings of Power. What did he think about the show and all this and all that? And his response was very interesting. It's kind of like the actor who played Sam. They said Sam said he got chills from watching the trailer, and that's all he pretty much added to that. And the thing about it, chills can mean anything. I get chills when I'm scared to death. So I think it's pretty funny and it's pretty interesting that you have these actors from this epic piece of adaptation, probably the best we're ever going to get on this side of existence, with the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm gonna tell you something. Peter Jackson did such a spectacular, detailed job and appreciate the lore of J.R.R. Tolkien that I'm going to just tell you guys like this. I will be very shocked in the next few years we have something that touched that gets close to that, because this Rings of Power is so much disaster that's going on with this show. It's just so much that we see, so many failures. The fans have already spoken by the droves. They're trying to act like it's bots that's doing dislikes to the trailers. No, it's not bots. I'm sad to say, but it's not. And I'm really not sad to say. I'm just being honest with you. The fans have already spoken and they don't like what they see. And I told you guys, they're going to start calling you toxic. They're going to start calling you R words and say you're not into diversity. But that's not true. All you are is a Tolkien purist, and you want to see the characters done right. We fell in love with these characters. We fell in love with these stories, these detailed stories. Now, let's get into it right here. Let's read this article from Bounding Into Comments, and they basically broke this down, and I'm going to tell you guys, this is some pretty funny stuff. Let's check it out right here. This is what it says. The Lord of the Rings actor Viggo Mortensen questions what source material Amazon is using for the Rings of Power series. The Lord of the Rings actor Viggo Mortensen, who played Aragorn in Peter Jackson Trilogy, beginning with the Fellowship of the Ring, recently questioned what source material Amazon was allowed to use for their upcoming The Rings of Power series. Now, Viggo already know his stuff. He already know what the rights to this and that already means. He's trying to figure out, how did they acquire this? How did they acquire the rights to talk about the Second Age? Because the Second Age, the Silmarillions and all that stuff, you can't touch that stuff. The Tolkien estate has a hold on that stuff. They have it locked down. So Viggo he like the fans, man. How the freak is they making this film right here? Let's continue with this article. It says, Mortensen was asked about the Rings of Power in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, THR, while promoting his latest film, Crimes of the Future. When first asked about the show and if he planned on watching it, Mortensen replied, "What is that? The TV thing? Is that with Apple or something?" THR Alex Rittman will inform Mortensen the show is being made by Amazon and is thought to be the most expensive TV series ever made. Mortensen responded, "Oh, right, yeah, I'll watch that." He didn't question, but do you know what source material they're using? What were they allowed to use? That is very interesting. His reply. Viggo's reply was that, "Oh yeah, I'll watch that." That's almost like somebody was saying, "Hey man, you know the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Raiders tonight," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'll watch that. I'll watch that." His response was like, "It's whatever." You can tell he's not even checking into this stuff. He don't give a freak. They're in trouble. Amazon, you're in freaking trouble, man. You're in trouble. You have Aragorn, the lead guy in The Lord of the Rings, the King of Gondor. Man, they changed the whole scope of his portion of Middle Earth and changed the game. And he's not even giving a freak about what's going on with Rings of Power. Rings of Power, Amazon, y'all are taking big, gigantic L's. Too many L's, man. Let's continue. Rittman would indicate he didn't know what source material they was adapting, but did inform Mortensen that the show is taking place thousands of years before The Lord of the Rings and that Isildur is one of the main characters. Mortensen simply replied, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it'll be fun to see." Amazon, you're taking L's. You're taking too many L's. And I seriously want to tell you this from a Tolkien fan to a big company. I think you need to push back September. I think you need to rewrite the script. Y'all need to do some reshoots and change it, because I'm telling you, it's going to be bad on your end. You have already spent so much money on this show. It's going to be a disaster if you try to put that agenda crap in there. If you try to put the political crap, leave that out of there and give us a great fantasy story that comes straight out of the book. If you come straight out of the book, and I know you have to tweak little changes here and there because you can't adapt everything to the book, to the big screen, but give us 90% of that. Don't change this character and make a black elf and a black dwarf and all that stuff. Don't do that. Just keep it 90% of, like the book. Keep it 90% accurate. That's all we asking, or you're going to fail. So I seriously want you guys to tell me your thoughts about this, about Viggo and his thoughts on the show. This pretty much shows me, and same with the actor Sam, this shows me it's no excitement, is no hype behind this. And that is odd in this day and age, because J.R.R. Tolkien has a gigantic fan base. You have fans out there that live and breathe Middle Earth, and it's just so sad that people are not even checking for this. And the reason why people are not checking for this, because they saw the trailer, they saw what you're trying to do, they saw you trying to put the political crap in there, and it's just going to end badly. Shout out to Viggo, man, because Reading that, I could tell Viggo, aka Aragorn, did not give a freak about Rings of Power, and I don't either. I'm gonna be honest with you, I will watch that first episode, but if that first episode is absolute garbage, trash, which I know it will be, then I'm not checking for the show again. And if I do check for the show, it's to utterly talk about it and laugh at it, and I'm just gonna keep it moving and have fun trashing it with the fans and expressing how wrong they were, and they should have just left it alone. You guys let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this? Do you think Viggo doesn't care, or do you think Viggo does care and he will check it out? You guys let me know in the comments below. Do you think Rings of Power is going to be a great show and I'm just a hater, or it's going to suck? Get back at your boy Beta J. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that notification bell, because when you hit that notification bell, it makes your boy Beta J feel oh so good and oh so swell. And I'm out of here. Ninja vanish.
Just the way I want you to be.